Hello, it's Kenny Belfato at SimTech, and here we will import your Rhino file and cut and nest the parts in just a few clicks right from Rhino. You type in import and you pick Rhino files. Look at all the different kinds of files. And let me pick this. Once the file's ready to go, there it is. Sorry about that. I had some other messaging going on. There's your file from Rhino. And it's got parts. And you could put the part name in here and you could put label fields in here. Unfortunately, this layer does not indicate anything. You can make that as a material and that'll be the material. So you could use the rmat command for materials. Rhino files come in, but they don't have a material and they don't have a part name. Actually, sometimes they do have a name. You could put in a name and label fields. Otherwise, it's just going to start naming those. You could type the name on each one of the parts. Router-CIM is just a button. You've got Router-CIM settings, what to ignore, anything smaller than a 4-inch cube, that'll get rid of like nuts and bolts and dowels and pins. Minimum and maximum thickness. And in the end, what this will do is make drawings or DXF files or both and have stuff on different layers. So a hole will be a circle and layer panel. I'm sorry, a hole will be a circle and layer hole. Sorry about that. There's all the different layers you could specify. And it's just one click. After you import it, you pick Router-CIM, put a window around the parts. It starts the feature recognition process. And then we're going to export that. Pick export. That creates a cut list for us. And that's got the name of the part. Everything is in the same material here and the quantity. Name, material, quantity. And it saves it as a cut list right here. So there's the drawing name, the material you could put in there, and there's the quantity. So there was 2 of some parts. There's also the panel dimensions, X, Y, Z. Panel dimensions right here, and here's individual X, Y, Z. So if you want to cut those on a saw, that's the minimum size. Now you just right click on that and pick cut with Router-CIM. So it's 2 clicks. Before I do that, I want to show you, you can leave it in the model here and you could do this expand view. There's several places to pick that. You can pick expand. You hit enter for drag and do like an exploded view. You could also pick lay flat. It lays all the parts out flat. And there you could see what the feature recognition did. Okay, so it made stuff on different layers. So if I erase the solid, you could see a circle on layer hole with the diameter and the depth. Layer outside. This is on a layer pocket, right? It's going to pocket that and extended that past the edge of the part, right? These are extended past the edge. That's called a rabbit because it's on the edge like that. So that did all the automatic feature recognition for us. At this point, you could just do the right click and cut, and it will cut and nest those parts. This whole process. Now it's going to import that list so it knows the name of the part, the material, and the quantity. And it opens up each drawing, and the drawings have geometry on different layers. So that layer hole, it knows to drill that. Layer pocket cut, it knows to do a certain size tool and a feed rate and a spindle speed. Those are all machining knowledges. And those machining knowledges are associated with different layers. So this automation program this is the Router-CIM part of it. What you saw first there was called Solid-CIM. Solid-CIM does the feature recognition, and then Router-CIM imports that list into a database, builds a job, and it's going to start processing each one of those parts now automatically. You see each part will open up, make a toolpath, and make the program, and then make the next part and the next program and the next part and the next program. So there's each part opens up. The hole's got a hole cut. We can do a corner punch to send the tool into these corners as well, so that you'll get a square, you'll be able to fit a square part in there. You see the pockings on a different layer, they get pocketed. The drill holes on a layer, they get drilled. The outside is on the outside layer. So it makes a program for each individual piece, and then it'll make the program for the nested sheets. Now, so you drew these little reliefs in here. You don't need to do that. There's a tool path that can go into a square corner and extend the tool into the corner, so you'll be able to put a square part in there. It's called corner punching. And so I'm get the program for each one of those individual pieces, and now here's the nesting results with those different quantities. There's all the parts fit on the sheets. There's a scrap cut here. It cuts this off and saves this for next time. And it just finished the entire process in 2 minutes and 2 clicks. I did 1 click from an import. We imported it. Router-CIM turns it into geometry. This is the program to run the router right here. It's called NC code files, is what those are. And then it saves the drawing. You can edit the drawing in AutoCAD. If you want to make changes to that nest, you can make changes to it. You see there's still 3D solids. And there's what's called a tool stay down nest on here. So the tool stays down and cuts part to part without lifting up. That reduces your overall cycle times. There's 1 lead in and 1 lead out. And the tool has a little overlapping bridge. So the tool comes off of this part on an arc, goes into the next part on an arc, cuts that out, comes off on an arc, goes into the next part on an arc. It's very fast and smooth, keeping the tool down and connecting part to part without lifting up. Reduces the overall cycle time. You can make changes to that nest, by the way, if you want to make changes to it. Let's go and let's erase the scrap cut right here. And we could drag and drop parts from another job. Excuse me, I find some other parts here that look good. There's some individual drawings, and you just drag and drop. Just pick this up and drag it, and I'll put that part in here. Let me pick it here and rotate it down like this. So that's a part from a different job altogether, right? And just use AutoCAD commands to move it around, copy it, rotate it. You want to draw your own part in here, you could just use AutoCAD to draw something. I'm just going to make a quick drawing. And even if your drawing is messed up, it'll fix that. So this little break in the geometry here, you get drawings from somebody else. Now I go into the Router-CIM button, activate the Router-CIM program, and then I could geoshape is a step that'll fix those little gaps and let you pick where you want your start point to be. And I'm going to pick one of my knowledges. So here's my outside knowledge. It's a 3/8 bit. Here's the depth. I can go through the material by 3/1000 or put a specific value in there, right? And you make a cut, touch the part, and that did have that little corner punch thing turned on. So the tool's going to go into the corner here. There's a tool, 3/8 tool is going to come out to here so that you can, instead of drawing the bubble fillet, it's going to send the tool into the corner so you can put a square part in that corner there. Even though I drew that in 2D, the tool paths show up in 3D. So I got 3D solids and my 2D drawing in the same file. You can mix and match stuff like that. Okay, you can mix and match. In fact, you can even just take, let me copy this drill hole and put it on my part here and here and here. So you can copy tool paths as well. When you're ready to make a new NC code file, you can sequence. By the way, there's all those different knowledges. You can set these up. You set this whole screen up and you save it, give it a name, and you import and export it in other drawings. Here's the sequence I could pick the order myself or just put a window around it all and do all different types of sorting. We sort by this rank number. So my drilling is rank 1, my inside cuts is rank 2. You make something else that's rank 1.5. There's an 8-minute cycle time. It adds other things like machine-related downtime, handling, personal fatigue. It really comes out to about 10 minutes, and it keeps track of all the cuts, how many inches each tool cut is all in there. And when you hit enter, there's the NC code ready to run on the router, just like that. So we took the existing nest and modified it, dragged the part in from another job, drew our own 2D drawing in there. And the other stuff in this has got all your labels. So I didn't even show you the labels. There's all the labels for your parts right there. And you could put label fields and customize these labels fully. And then the other piece of it is the individual programs. So I made 17 individual part programs. If you ever need to do a remake, that's what those are for. So the parts, and then here's all the individual drawings with their tool paths on them. It saves them just like that. So your little assembly had 17 parts in there with different quantities. So there was 2 of these, 3 of those. There was a couple different quantities. And it saves all that for you, ready to cut. It also makes a PDF file with the the sheet information and the printouts of the nests and the printouts of the individual parts. But that's the Solid Sim and Router-CIM quickly programming your parts.